It's time for X's and O's on the KFAN Minnesota Vikings Radio Network, courtesy of U.S. Bank. Paul Allen joined by Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer. Out of the bye week, Lambeau Field this weekend. Coach, did you get much downtime during the off time? Because whether I was testing at TCO Performance Center or here for whatever the reason, I saw your truck here pretty much every single day.
Yeah, I was here quite a bit. We got a lot of stuff that we have to look at and continue to try to get these young guys improved as much as we possibly can.
Now, what are some things on defense that you're liking through 6? And the reason I ask it that way is sometimes you only, or people in your profession only focus on the negatives or only hear about the negatives. I would imagine some things are getting better game by game.
Yeah, I think, Eric Kendricks is playing at a high level. Eric Wilson is doing a nice job as well. We've been pretty decent on third downs for the most part. We've been pretty good in the red zone for the most part. There's some areas obviously we have to improve. First downs. I think the running game overall, we're giving up a ton of yards, but yards per carry is down. So, we just got to do a better job with our time of possession to help that out.
Now, with Eric Wilson specifically, with those 2 sacks, is that a process of the position he plays, or like a certain play and like gets extended? What has led to his sacks?
Well, I think a little bit of it, Paul, is he understands where to take his shots, and there's some times when we've been trying to get him to add to the quarterback. There's been times when he's been blitzing, and so I think just a couple of those times has helped.
Now, offensively speaking, Mike, the Atlanta game had its problems, so maybe some people are forgetting from Tennessee through Seattle. Yeah, there were some incredibly good things done here offensively. Do you agree with that? And is that more who your offense is than maybe the Indianapolis or Atlanta games?
Well, I think those 2 things are important, that we control the football, we sustain drives by getting third downs. And, in both those 2 games that you're talking about, we turned the ball over late, which put us in some tough situations. So we've got to continue to possess the ball, not turn it over. We got to be able to continue to do the things that the quarterback does well and our offensive line does well.
Now you always have taken losing hard, even like when your team is 5-2. So how are you handling this one so far?
That's been pretty rough, but I keep trying to look at these young guys and try to continue to get them better and think about, what's it going to be like 4 weeks from now, and really, this is a lot to do with trying to better the players and how can we help them as coaches to continue to get better. It's just a situation we're in. We didn't ask for Danielle Hunter to get hurt, or Anthony Barr, or Michael Pierce to opt out, or the corner situation the way it is. But it is what it is, and so we're just going to keep plug them in and keep fighting.
You traded Yannick Ngakoue, and all of his career, including here, he sacks the quarterback, which is important. But with the standards you specifically and Andre Patterson have had for many years, the importance of the complete game, is that what could that ever have happened with Yannick here? Contain, run stopping, the whole thing.
Well, I think Paul, he tried to do everything we asked him to do. I think that, he was having to buy into some of the things that we're asking him to do. And quite honestly, we feel good about some of these young players. And we had an idea that he probably wouldn't be here next year anyway.
What do you like about DJ Wonnum, one of those young players?
Yeah, he's improving every time out. He improves. He's still, like all young guys do, and like Daniil did when he was young, still thinking too much. And not letting all of his athleticism show right now. But you see flashes of it in practice, you see flashes of it in game, and then if he ever can just, take a deep breath and let it go, then he's got a chance.
I know you've always been big on making predictions. So any chance DJ Wonnum leads your team in sacks this year? And the reason I ask, Pete Bursich, analyst, Vikings Radio Network, some others, Afadio Denebo, 2.5, Eric Wilson, 2. I'm like, I hope that they all have 15. I'll take DJ Wonnum as the long shot in this equation. Is it a bad take?
No, I don't think it's a bad take. He's got one right now, I believe. That was pretty much a free runner, though. So, we'll just see. I don't know.
I'm a racetrack guy. I'm looking for the long shot. Mike Zimmer, X's and O's. How is new DB's coach Durante Jones handling or holding up with all of the youth and everything in the secondary?
Yeah, quite honestly, Durante's doing a terrific job. He's coaching these guys very hard. He's very detailed in his work. It is a tough job when you have as many young rookies playing at one time in a back end, because coaching a back end is a hard deal. But I think he's doing an outstanding job. These young guys will keep getting better, keep improving. I think you've seen that with Gladney in the slot. He's playing double duty, playing inside and outside. So it just keeps improving. And obviously we don't have a lot of time to keep improving, but we got to keep getting better.
Jeff's a really tough guy, isn't he? Just like mentally tough. Like he wants to win a fight.
Yeah, Jeff's a good competitive kid, and he has all the tools. He makes some mistakes like all these guys do, but he's got a good future.
Where do you feel Afadio Denebo is most comfortable, like for the most plays in a game?
Well, I think he's probably most comfortable at end, but we move him inside because he gives us a little bit of push in the middle there, and but I think he's a guy that's going to fight and pressure and push and keep competing until he can get to the quarterback. We're going to have to do that this week.
Now, Dalvin clearly is one of the best overall running backs in the NFL. That's obvious. Where in non-obvious fashion, Mike, where is Dalvin most important to this offense?
I think everywhere. He's great on screens. He's great on the zone plays. He's good in protection. But him being out there is important to the structure of the defense as well, because you can get a lot more single high looks than you normally would when he's out there, and with the threat of him running the football.
Rodgers this Sunday, he really is embracing the no fans concept, isn't he?
I don't know. I haven't paid much attention to that. He's some of the things I've seen him do is just, he's playing New Orleans. He's running a bootleg to his left, and it's falling backwards. It throws a 50-yarder on the money. Some of these throws that he makes and things he sees and the way he manipulates the defense in not only the hard count, but seeing the pressures and getting protection turned and knowing where to go with the football. This guy's amazing. It's like this every time we have to play him.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer, and I'm not disrespecting him, but what I mean by embracing the no fans concept, U.S. Bank Stadium, no fans, Superdome, no fans, no distractions, and I've just never, ever seen him this dialed in without these distractions,
Yeah, well, he's very, very smart. He hears a lot of things that the defense says, and so I think he picks up on a lot of that as well. So this guy, he's as good as there is, maybe the best of all time. So,
hey, what do you think of Jamal Williams' overall game?
I think he's a really good. I think he's improved a lot in the last, I think it's 3 years now. But, he runs the ball very physically. He's got good feet. He's been good in protection as well. And so I think he's improved quite a bit.
Last one. Time for one more. When getting ready for Green Bay's defense, does it start with Kenny Clark and you go out? Or do you start with the Smiths and come into, I know it all complements each other, but where do you start with those three?
Well, it's a little bit like it is on offense. You got to start with Rodgers, Adams, and Aaron Jones. And on defense, you got to do with the Smiths and Kenny Clark. So, they've got three big-time playmakers on both sides of the ball, along with, guys like Alexander and the two safeties are good players as well. But as far as the front guys, it's those three guys that you have to do a really good job against.
And just when you get squared away on 55 outside, then he's inside doing your A-gap mugging, right?
Right, he does all those.
Hey, best of luck this weekend. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, Paul.